There's a guy named Neil Pasricha, and he wrote this blog called 1,000 Awesome Things. I want to read just a few of them for you today and see if you think that these things are awesome. Listen to this list. Snow days. Pushing those little buttons on the soft drink lid where the socks from the dryer match perfectly. The smell of the coffee aisle in the grocery store. When you microwave Pop's microwave popcorn perfectly. When the vending machine gives you two things instead of just one. Snow falling on Christmas Eve. The smell and the sound of a campfire. When somebody lands on your hotel in Monopoly. A plunger when you really need one. High-fiving babies. Peeing in a lake. And the last one, when the band comes back for an encore. Today on this Thanksgiving Sunday or whatever day that you are watching whatever day that might be, we want to look at the story of Jephthah. His story is found in a book called Judges, and we're looking at chapters 11, and we're looking at the first 11 verses. Jephthah faces rejection. He finds friends, and he forges forward. And what we're going to look at as the story of Jephthah plays out, that he understands and comes to the conclusion that it truly is a wonderful life. We want to learn from Jephthah today that what can make it a truly wonderful life. And the first thing that we learn right away is learning to face rejection. Look at what it says at the beginning of Judges chapter 11, the first two verses. Listen to what it says. Jephthah, the Gileadite, was a mighty warrior. His father was Gilead. His mother was a prostitute. Gilead's wife also bore him sons, and when they were growing up, they drove Jephthah away. You are not going to get any inheritance in our family, they said, because you are the son of another woman. Jephthah is known as a mighty warrior. This guy was a hero. He was strong in battle. He was mighty. When they needed help, they would call on Jephthah to fight against the enemies because they knew that he would win the battle. It tells us that his dad's name was Gilead. Well, that made sense. He was from the tribe of the Gileadites. So his dad's name was the head of their tribe. It says that his mother was a prostitute. It goes on into the story to tell us that Gilead got married, had other sons. Jephthah had stepbrothers, but instead of them getting to know him and being happy for him, they held it against him who his mom was. Even though in the reputation that Jephthah had in the community was that he was a mighty warrior, his brothers could not see past the fact that you are the son of a prostitute. Jephthah faces deep rejection from his family, from these brothers, and they drive him out of his home, out of everything that he's familiar with, out of the town. Jephthah faces rejection. Later on in the story, we see in Judges chapter 11, verses 6 to 8, listen to what happens. They said, "Come," they said, "be our commander so we can fight the Ammonites." Jephthah said to them, "Didn't you hate me and drive me from my father's house? Why do you come to me now when you're in trouble?" The elders of Gilead said to him, "Nevertheless, we are turning to you now. Come with us to fight the Ammonites, and you will be head over all of us who live in Gilead." We don't really know if Jephthah got angry, frustrated, hurt, plotted revenge. But we do know that the elders, the heads of the town of Gilead, came and found Jephthah. See, Jephthah, even though he had faced this rejection, he chose to instead to follow what God was calling him to do. He didn't go and get angry and plot revenge and take out his frustrations on somebody else. No, it said that he kept his reputation intact. The fact that these elders would come to him at all, they recognized that he had been treated unfairly. They recognized that he was put in a situation that he should have never been put in. They saw the injustices that were being done to Jephthah, and they came to him and said, "We want you to be our commander. We want you to be the one that leads us." He is the rightful leader. See, Jephthah, he faithfully followed God despite the rejection. We need to learn that in those moments when we face the rejection, because you will face rejection, but we need to learn how to handle it with grace and dignity and Christ-likeness. That we say, following God, despite this rejection that I'm facing, it is more of a priority that I keep my reputation intact and continue to follow God. The second thing that we see here is that to find friends. As soon as the words came out of my mouth, as soon as I was writing this, I realized that I am not very good at that. I have a hard time making friends, keeping friends. I don't know if it's just because I moved around a lot. I have moved around a lot. Because I just prefer to be by myself more than being with others. I don't know what it is. But I recognize that this is important. That we need to find friends. We need to have people in our life that we consider friends. Jephthah was at a low point in his life. He had just faced this huge rejection, and it tells us in Judges chapter 11, verse 3, this is what happened. So Jephthah fled from his brothers and settled in the land of Tob, where a gang of scoundrels gathered around him and followed him. Land of Tob kind of sounds like something that could be in the Lord of the Rings or in Narnia. I love this picture that a group of scoundrels gathered around Jephthah. You know, I kind of think that I would have liked this group of people. I think I would have liked hanging out with scoundrels, being considered a scoundrel. They would have been my kind of people. Scoundrels here is simply referring to a group of people that possibly didn't have very much money. They probably didn't have a lot of friends themselves. They didn't have a house, a job. They were just basically wandering aimlessly, just looking for somebody. And Jephthah and this group of scoundrels, they found each other. And it's amazing that in the midst of something that you're going through, whether it's rejection or something else that you are facing, maybe you're in a crisis or maybe you're just a fun-loving person, you tend to find those kind of people and you come together. In Jephthah's case, people that had faced rejection found each other. And we can take comfort in the fact that sometimes when we think that we're dealing with something, that we're all alone, that you can go and you can meet somebody else and you start to talk to them and you realize very quickly that, hey, you're going through the same things that I'm going through. And we can find comfort in that. Listen to this quote. This really struck me and it really spoke to me. It's by a person named Jenny Allen, and she wrote it from her book, Find Your People. This is what she says. First of all, we're all unhealthy people to some extent. You are never going to find the perfect people to do life because they don't exist. And this was the interesting part for me. You will always be doing community with sinners. See, Jephthah, he needed people that were going to come alongside of him, believe in him, encourage him, motivate him. Remember, he's a mighty warrior. He needed people to remind him of that. You need people to remind you of the good things in your life, who you are, the type of person that you are making a difference, you are doing a good thing. You need those kind of people. I'm telling you, call them what you want, but sinners or scoundrels or riffraff or rebels, I'm telling you, these are the people that will make the best friends, because this is everybody. We're all this to some degree. These kind of people make the best friends. So who are your friends? Who are the people that you laugh with, you cry with, you have intellectual conversation with, you talk about issues to do with the Bible or to do with God or to do with church, to do with how to be a Christian? Who are those friends? Who are the friends when you're stuck, you need help with a problem, or you're going through a tough situation? Who are those friends? Jephthah knew that he needed to find some friends, and a bunch of scoundrels was exactly what he needed. See, you need to find friends that will help you discover just how truly wonderful your life is. And the third thing that we see here is that Jephthah continued to forge forward. Look at how this ends. Judges chapter 11, verses 9 to 11 says this. Jephthah answered, "Suppose you take me back to fight the Ammonites, and the Lord gives them to me. Will I really be your head?" The elders of Gilead replied, "The Lord is our witness. We will certainly do as you say." So Jephthah went with the elders of Gilead, and the people made him head and commander over them. Jephthah was rejected by his family. He was forced to leave his town, his friends, his community, everything that he knew. And these exact same people now realized that they had made a huge mistake. And they came back and make Jephthah their commander. Finally, Jephthah is understanding that despite the circumstances of his life, despite the rejection that he faced, despite where he ended up in the land of Tob, God was with him. Listen to this line from the movie, It's a Wonderful Life. This is what it says. "You see, George, you really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it away?" I don't know if someone is watching today or listening today right now, and you might be saying, "My life is not that wonderful. I don't feel like I truly have a wonderful life. Rejection or crisis or something in your life has gotten you down. I don't have any friends. And I'm having a hard time forging forward." Let's kind of recap and let's look, what are we going to learn from Jephthah today so that we can say with confidence that we truly have a wonderful life? We need to learn to face rejection, to keep your reputation, to recognize that God sees who you are, exactly where you are. He sees your situation. That we need to find friends and people that will believe in you, that will motivate you, to encourage you. Even if just one person, you need to find that person that will have your back, that will see the best in you, that will push you to do great things. And next, that we need to continue to forge forward, because recognizing that despite what's going on around us, God is there. Let me pray for you right now. God, I pray for anybody that is watching right now. And I'm thankful for those people that can stand up and say, I do have a really wonderful life. I recognize how amazing my life is. Thank you for those people. May they be an encouragement to others. And for those that maybe are thinking, I don't really have a great life. They've faced rejection or crisis or something's going on in their life. May they recognize that you see them, and that following you and keeping their reputation is more important. I pray that you would bring friends into their life, even if just one person that can come and encourage them and bless them and build them up. And Lord, that you would give them the strength to forge forward, to keep going, to keep moving, because you are with them. May you do that today, I pray. In Jesus' name. Amen. I want to thank you so much for watching today. Hey, if you like this or you think it would help somebody else, please share. Share the link. Share this video. And hey, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, we would love for you to follow us on Instagram. You can find us on Instagram at CapAbundantLife. If you would desire to give to our ministry, to help support our ministry, to keep us going forward, moving forward, you can do so through an e-transfer at giving@abundantlifecap.com. And I want you to know I would love to connect with you, stay connected with you. And you can do that by going to our website, abundantlifecap.com. And there's a link on our website to a connect card. Go on there and fill it out, and I would love to connect with you. So hey, today, let's go. Let's recognize that when we have God in our life, it truly is a wonderful life. And I will see you next time.